Today, ladies and gentlemen, this gentleman was with us last week, did a phenomenal job last week. Told my favorite story, that Harriet Tubman story. And I'm with you, Mr. Dave Carver. Every time I tell that story, I get something else out of it. He's a single father down in San Diego area, just a wonderful person, a great father to his daughter. And I tell you, I love his daughter and father stories. He's got one of the biggest organizations in Southern California. He's also a great leader with great people in his organization, been with us for quite a few years. And I just want to say thank him for last week stepping up to the plate on Friday and Saturday when Mr. Bree Clemens went out on a sabbatical to take some time. And he just does a phenomenal job. Can we give up for this, the one and only, the great regional director, Mr. Julian Lewis?
Thomas, good morning, everyone. That's so funny. I told Mr. Thomas, it's the truth. I told him, I said I was trying to do it as much like Jabri so no one would know. So I hope a lot of you didn't even notice, but I do appreciate you, Mr. Thomas. I appreciate you, Jabri, everything you do. Matter of fact, I just got a few messages from him just 2 minutes ago. Mr. Clemens, you're always on point. You're a class act. You're a Renaissance man. I appreciate everything you do for this organization and as a friend. And Mr. Thomas, you as well. Listen, we attract amazing people when we serve. And Mr. Thomas has opened his heart to serve so many. And that's why he can attract a Jabri Clemens, or he can attract a Natasha Ismail, or Regional Vice President, Miss Jocelyn Driscoll Platinum, who just jumped on, who's not even part of his organization, but it's the energy and who he is as an individual, and his humility and his ability to just pour into people and show them how to level up. So thank you for everything that you do, sir. I appreciate 100% everything that you do. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm very excited about this morning. I've been excited. I was excited last week, and I'm really excited to bring this to you because I believe that when we're done here today, you will have zero excuses to go out there and win big for yourself and your family. And because I know we have a few new people on the call, I just want to give you a brief background on myself so we're not complete strangers. Like Mr. Thomas said, my name's Julian. What's your name? Okay, it's nice to meet you. I just want to let all of you know that prior to getting involved with ACM, I was a senior systems engineer where I was working 80 to 90 hours a week at my job. I was averaging 50 to 60 flights a year. I was beyond busy. I really didn't have a lot of time for myself or my family, but good fortune came my way. I was introduced to this business by my first mentor in this industry who shared with me the ACM system. And through sharing that with me, what happened is it allowed someone as busy as I was to plug in and leverage. And in a short period of time, it enabled me to replace my income at my job, come home to my family, and become the type of father that I felt my daughter deserved. Disclaimer, it took hard work and consistency. And so I need you to know that ACN takes hard work and consistency in order to build it. But if you're gonna work hard anyway, why not work for yourself, your family, and your dreams and apply that to ACN? So that's my story. I want to share with all of you guys what can help you win is understanding, first of all, the environment that we're in right now in the world. That's huge. So I want to go through a few slides really quick. And then as I go through the few slides, we're going to be talking about what every single one of you can do to become a top producer. The road to top production it leads right through your work ethic, right? So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to bring up these slides so that you can see something that's pretty astounding, and not everyone is aware of it. So if you take a look, the first thing what we're going to talk about is something called the Great Resignation. Now, a lot of people are talking about this, especially employers and employees. The Great Resignation, if you look at the definition, also known as the Big Quit, is the ongoing trend of employees voluntarily leaving their jobs started in spring of 2021 to the present, okay? It's in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. The term Great Resignation was likely coined by Anthony Klotz, a professor of management at Mays Business School of Texas A&M University. Okay. Now, why are we talking about this? Is big. Here's another thing. All of you heard the Wall Street Journal. The Wall Street Journal says, forget going back to the office. People are just quitting instead. As the pandemic clouds lift. So as the pandemic clouds lift, remember, that means people are excited, right? Because they're going outside. They're going outside, but what they're not doing is going back to work. The percentage of Americans leaving employers for new opportunities is at its highest level in more than 2 decades. I need you to hear that. People looking for new opportunities and leaving their jobs, saying, forget the paycheck, I'm out. Okay, you guys understand that? Is highest level in more than 2 decades. Look at this. This is News Nation. Great Resignation, top 3 reasons people are leaving their jobs according to Gallup. Okay, so Gallup research broke it down. And here's what they said, just in case this is blurry and you can't see it, I'm gonna read that part for you. The 3 most common reasons Gallup found employees to be disengaged at work were, number 1, they are not seeing opportunities for development. Number 2, they are not feeling connected to the company's purpose. And number 3, they're not having strong relationships at work. Okay, so what does that mean? I want, before we go to the next slide, I don't want you to miss this because this is valuable. If they're saying, this is the research. So the majority of American workers surveyed, 64% reported they did not feel engaged at work. That being said, the proportion of engaged workers is growing over time, according to Clifton. One of the reasons is because management strategies are changing. So here's what's happening. There's disruption in the industry of employee-employer relationships. Now, all of that being said, stay with me. Don't get distracted. Stay with me. This is important. If we know that these are the top 3 reasons, not seeing opportunities for development, not feeling connected to the company's purpose, not having strong relationships at work, what would an entrepreneur who sees this as an opportunity and knows that in ACN, our job is to introduce people, if they know that these were the top 3 reasons, researched and studied, that employees are leaving their employers, what conversations would you be having with people? Would you be having conversations about the fact that in ACN, number 1, there are opportunities for growth and development? Is this true? We have a compensation plan, but we have a personal development course with a compensation plan attached to it. So that means that there is development attached to increasing your income. So we've handled the first thing that people are looking for. Number 2, is there purpose, and are the co-founders aligned in a purpose that is perfect for the environment that we're in today? Absolutely, because we have a purpose of doing what? Helping people to get freedom back as far as time. Time is more valuable than money. You never get it back. But through ACN's purpose of making the little guy the big deal, ACN is meeting that requirement. And that's the second thing people are looking for. Number 3, not having strong relationships at work. This is relationship marketing. What we do is we develop and foster relationships. And through connection, we're able to show an opportunity that people can establish those top 3 things. So in your conversations, knowing that these are the top 3 things that most people are thinking about, can we agree that it would be extremely important for these things to be a part of your conversation or questions that you may have? How easy is it today to just ask anyone that you know, wow, did you see what's going on? Have you heard of the Great Resignation? Have you heard of the Big Quit? Hey, I got a crazy question. Have you heard of the Big Quit? Hey, I have an interesting question. What's your take on the Great Resignation? And people are going to say what they feel. Then you're going to be able to ask, in your job, are they offering opportunities for development? In your job, are you feeling connected, or are things weird right now? And just by asking these questions, guys, you're going to have an opportunity to get an idea of where these people stand. Because instead of just quitting with no money coming in, how about having a game plan of shifting from employment to entrepreneur through ACN? So these conversations are going to help equip you so that you can have more success in peaking people during today's climate. Look at this. 3 indisputable truths about the Great Resignation. I'm not going to go into all 3. This is Forbes. You can look this up yourself, but I will focus on the first one, because this is one that most people, a lot of people aren't realizing right now. The first one is, this is not a flash in the pan phenomenon. What does that mean? What's happening is a big wake-up call to employers. Regardless of whether they thrived or languished during the pandemic, it's a part of a larger trend that's taking shape in real time and speaks to the very heart of the employer-employee compact. What does that mean? The way employees feel about employers is changing. In other words, if you're taking notes, employees are waking up to something that you and I as ACN IBOs have already understood for a very long time. They are not valued. They're waking up. And if you guys remember back in the beginning of the pandemic, I said that people are going to start waking up. It takes sometimes something crazy to wake people up and make them realize that where they're at isn't the best place that they can be. So with that being said, there are a record 9.2 million job openings, but employers can't fill them, and are considering a record 4 million people quit their jobs in the month of April this year alone. There's no shortage of job seekers. People's unflappable willingness to quit their jobs and trade in their old careers for new, greener pastures is telling us something. It's prudent and savvy to consider that maybe the grass is greener on the other side. Even if an individual doesn't say, I quit, they are seeing their family members and friends leave their jobs for more flexibility, better benefits, and more supportive cultures. So what does that mean? People are realizing when they were forced to work remotely, they're realizing, oh my gosh, it's kind of nice to see my kid. Wow, this is interesting. Oh my gosh, it's kind of nice to see my wife more than when our eyes are closed when she's asleep. Wow, it's kind of nice to be able to go to the grocery store when it's daytime. These are normal things for a full-time network marketer that we fell in love with. I got upset during the pandemic because I used to be able to walk through Trader Joe's, I used to be able to walk through Sprouts and Costco and breeze through because I was full-time in ACN and everyone else was at work. And then when the pandemic happened, I would go at that regular time and there was a line and I was frustrated. Why? Because everyone was home. Everyone needed to go. You know what I love? The fact that I could drive up and down the 15 freeway and there was no traffic. And now all of a sudden, there's traffic. People are at home. And because the restriction have lifted, now they're all outside with me. And so the reason why I'm telling you this is because people have gotten a small taste of our real reality as network marketers. And people are more open to the idea of creating flexible income and allowing themselves to be remote. Does that mean that they have to work from home? No, they can work from wherever they want on the face of the planet. My daughter said something, and I wanted to share this with you because it was interesting. The last part of last year for school, she said, Daddy, I really like this hybrid model. So hybrid meant that she had remote school, but 2 days out of the week, she went into school. And so there was ability to socialize and go into the classroom. And I said, why do you like that way more? And she said, because I get to be home more with my family and I still get to go to school, but because I'm home more, it doesn't feel like I have to do everything on the weekend. She's a kid. What's she talking about? Everything. Guys, we're adults. You know that grind where you work all week, you're exhausted. If you could just make it home, that's good enough, right? And then you're half falling asleep on the couch after you ate because now you have the itis and you're trying to watch Netflix, you're trying to watch HBO, you're trying to watch these shows, you're trying to get in some peace of mind to be able to see that you're human and not just a robot that works. You don't have time to go to work during the day or after work. And then the weekend, you pile up all of your errands on Saturday. And the only real day you have is what? Saturday evening to Sunday afternoon, because Sunday evening, you have to get ready to go back to work. People don't want that anymore. And I'm telling you this because every single one of you have the opportunity, to do something big right now. And it's something that you can control. And I know, Mr. Brian Baker, we talked to your group about this. And this is the thing that people don't understand. We try to control. The reason why ACN is frustrating, I want to shed some light on this. I've been doing this for a very long time. We've had a lot of success over the years. It's been able to generate a lifestyle that has afforded me the opportunity to do things in my 41 years of life that most people won't do in an entire lifetime, okay? And here's what I realized. The reason why ACN is frustrating to most people, okay? I hope you guys are with me right now. If you're not, do me a favor, pay attention right now, pay attention. The reason why ACN is so frustrating to most people is because most people try to control aspects of ACN that they cannot control, okay? This is gonna be really, really good for a lot of people, okay? So people try to control aspects of ACN that they cannot control. And when you try to control things that are out of your control, your frustration level goes up, your anxiety level goes up, the feeling of defeat goes up, the feeling of discouragement goes up. These are all things that happen when you focus your energy on things that you cannot control. So what does that look like in ACN? What are things that you cannot control? You cannot control whether someone signs up in the business or not. You can influence it, okay? You can influence it, but you cannot control it. You cannot control if someone becomes your customer or not. You cannot control if someone likes the business or not. You cannot control if someone likes our product portfolio or not. All right? Now, the reason I'm saying this is because those are the things that most people are trying to figure out. Most amateur builders in network marketing and ACN spend so much time trying to figure out how to control the non-controllables that they get frustrated and exhausted because they spend all their energy, the majority of their energy, in those areas. They say, how can I make my approach better so that I can control how many people like the business? How can I make how I acquire customers better so that I can control how many people join? All of this. And so if you're reliant upon your skill, if you think your skill is the reason why someone didn't sign up at the end of a presentation, can we agree that that gets discouraging? You can't control that. The best presenters, Al Thomas presents to people, sometimes look at him and say, oh no, this is not gonna make any money. He's made, documented in the industry, lots of money. And to this day, he could sit down with someone and say, I don't think this is gonna work. And Mr. Thomas just laughs at him. Why? Because there are just some people that are like that. What you'll have to understand about Mr. Thomas is he doesn't push the narrative that they have to do it. What he does is say, okay, I met a weirdo, let's move on. He focuses on what he can control. The top producers focus on what they can control. And if you were to tear it down to the very smallest thing that you can control, and anybody who's an RD or RVP, do me a favor, do not answer this question I'm gonna pose to everyone, and I want you to answer in the chat. You cannot control the things that I said. And if you were on Brian Baker's call where I trained on this, don't respond, because that's not fair, right? Those people that have never heard me say this before, I need you to answer this question. What is it? No, yeah, you can control yourself, but that's not ACN. So what, and you're RD, you're not supposed to be answering. So, ladies and gentlemen, what is the only actionable thing that you can control in ACN? Let me see what people are saying. Sensational, got it. It's not even the number of exposures. See, this is why people get so frustrated, because most people don't even know. That's not the plan. Right, it's the amount of people you talk to, okay? So take it back, not even peak, right? You can attempt, it's how many people you can attempt to peak. Write this down. The only thing that I can control is the amount of people I attempt to peak. I can actually say, oh, the amount of people I peak, right? No, because I can go and do what? I can go and attempt to peak someone, and I said everything right, and they say, not for me. So did I peak them? No, I didn't. So the only thing I can control is the amount of people I attempt to peak. Now, if that is the only thing that I can control, and the amount of customers and business partners that come from that are directly related to what I can control, then why do I spend so much damn time focusing on all the other crap that I can't? It's because it distracts you from doing the thing that will make it work. How do I know? We do that in everything. All right, if I told you about fitness, right? I want to ask you a question. I want to see how smart everyone in it is. If I want to get the best physique that my body can create, the best physique that my body can create, where do I see the majority of my results? From my workouts or from my nutrition? Heather said it, diet, nutrition. We all know that, right? Listen, this is funny. This is hilarious. We all know this. I keep seeing nutrition. Then why is it that when someone gains weight, the first thing they do is they go run to the gym and try, no, it's nutrition. 80% is nutrition. So why is it that when someone wants to lose weight, they don't change their nutrition. The first thing they do is run and put themselves in pain in the gym. Why is that? Does anyone know? No one knows? It's exactly because it's harder to change what you eat. No, it's because it's harder to change what you eat. It's absolutely true. People rather put themselves in pain to work out, hoping that the workouts are going to do all the change for them than changing their nutrition, because it's harder to change what they eat. So people say, I'd rather go work out than change my food. Now, here's why that's so funny. It's because 80% of my physique is maintained through my nutrition. But the first thing people ask me is, what workouts are you doing? Because people don't want to change the most important thing that they can control, what they put in their mouth. I'm telling you this because they'll focus on supplements, they'll focus on weights, they'll focus on when they eat, intermittent fasting. Yeah, all that stuff works, but it's what you're eating, what you're consuming is the most important thing. So why am I telling you this? Because the same people are in ACN, and most people are focused on all the things they cannot control. So here's why I'm saying this. If you woke up today and you had a light bulb moment, do me a favor. If you can find the emoji, put a light bulb in the chat. Because what I'm trying to tell you is this: with as many people as there are on the planet, with as many people as there are on social media, with as many people as there are everywhere you go outside, if you just did this, if you just wrote out a plan of how many people, someone found the light bulb, how many people I'm going to talk to every single day, how many people I'm going to attempt to peak. So I'm going to attempt to peak 30 people a day. Whatever it is, 20, 10, here's what I want you to do. Do it, attempt it, and do it for 30 days. It's an experiment. I want you to experiment with me, because I'm telling you, if you focus on the only thing that you can control, you're going to be shocked at how many customers and business partners come from it. And because you're focused on the thing you can control and you're not worried about the things that you can't, you're not going to have the anxiety and the frustration that comes along with most people's businesses. Just do it as an experiment. Attempt to peak 10 people a day. That's 300 people in a month. And if you attempt to peak 300 people, even if you don't feel you have the most effective conversation, two things are going to happen. Number one, your conversation's going to become effective, because the more you do it, the better you're going to get at talking to people. Number two, you're going to have people join your business. Why? Because you can't talk to 300 people with an attempted peak and have some get exposed and 100% of them not join. Now, my question to you is, what if you attempted to peak 300 people? That's just 10 attempts a day. And it led to 30 business partners a month on your own effort. Well, I know that's $6,000 a month for an RD just for helping them to get qualified. What would your business look like? And if all you were doing is that, and that's what people were being taught, and then you got that group of people that were interested to the Game On event, what would happen when now they're all getting trained on how to get customers, how to get business partners? game changer. Wake up, guys. Employees are quitting and they're looking for you right now, but they can't find you if you have a bag over your head and you're not attempting to peak. So with that being said, Mr. Thomas, I'll turn the call back over to you, sir.